What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Michelle Renee from IamMichelleRenee.com. And I am so happy to have you with us tonight for a tribe of dope Black women. Listen, what a week we have had. It has been quite interesting. I am sure you all have something that you want to say, view, or see. So make sure you are commenting live with us to let us know you are here, checking in, and let's get right into it. I got to bring the panel on and tell you who we have with us tonight. Adding first to the stream is Miss McKee Sykes of Wake, Pray, Create. What's up, McKee? How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Listen, I'm doing well. My camera just tried to go crazy on me, and that's why I disappeared for a while because I was like, "What the world?" But I am here, and I'm excited. So glad to be with you all tonight. Let's bring on our Dr. Shaquia Harris. How are you,
Hi
Quia? What's
guys.
up?
I can get my camera. Seem like I'm halfway on here. What's going on?
Listen, I'm good. I'm so glad to have you, honey. Like, we got some talking to do in a minute, baby. Let me bring Tamika Bennett on here though, because we gotta get into this and get into it for real. What's up, Tamika? Mika, how are
Hi,
you?
Yeah.
Listen, y'all, we have had a very interesting week. First, I want to definitely acknowledge everything that is going on and just say that I know I personally stand in solidarity with the Asian community, with everything they've been experiencing. I'm not going to get into them needing to back or support us. We're not going to worry about that. When anybody in humanity is hurt, everybody in humanity is hurt, and humanity or acts or crimes against any group of people is a crime against humanity. So lifting those families up in prayer who have experienced loss, as well as those in Colorado with that mass shooting as well. I saw on the news where they made the statement. I think it was Huffington Post who said, it looks like America has returned back to normal because of the mass shootings. And I'm
Mhm.
like, that's the normal that we're repping? Like, is this what we're doing to say that our norm is to be in this type of mindset? Like, how is that a norm? How is that what we want to acknowledge and recognize as what we do? That's problematic. So I saw that and it really did something. It was very disheartening for me because I was like, we have to be better than that. So
Mhm.
that's an interesting perspective. But I'm so glad to be back with y'all. Had to take a break last week because your girl was like exhausted and at her wits' end, and had the pleasure of actually seeing Tamika in person and enjoying a few moments with her and her family. Was so excited to be able to do that. So I'm just happy to be back with the tribe, y'all. Y'all ready to get into this? Because we got some talking to do. What has been going on? We have watched uh it's been like cheaters exposed on the next level here, right? And so we have watched all the craziness in the media for the last few days with the media personality, we're gonna call him YouTuber, whatever he is, Derek Jackson and hotmess.com. But before we get into that, I want to kind of talk about like women cheating versus men cheating and how we respond so differently to it, because we just watched Jada and Will at the table with Red Table Talk, and that was before we went and started doing the tribe, because I know we would have had a dope tribal council talking about that one. um but we watched Will and Jada be at the table, and Jada was drugged for dear life for her entanglement, is what she called it, but for the same type of acts. And here's the thing: while I don't agree with any of it, their situation looked different, as in they, in their marriage, their unique union or whatever they got going on, their partnership or whatever they call it, life partners, made the collective decision to say that this is what we're doing. Kind of, I don't really believe that, but that ain't my business. But they had a different kind of conversation versus here Derek Jackson is with his wife, and all this cheating that took place that he admits to, and now they're dealing with it. But the question is, when are we going to get to the place of releasing this double standard? Because I promise you, had she cheated on him, she'd have been drugged for dear life. Like, what are we doing here? So who wants to talk about that? Like, where can we approach this men cheat versus women cheat when we see it, like how it manifests? Because men expect you to stand by their side after they cheat on you and do you dirty. And I can speak on this particular topic because I am a wife who chose to stay with my spouse after infidelity. So I can say that and own my shit, but I don't get to be in a space where I'm like, oh, I know people have judged me for the decision that I've made, and I'm okay with that. The people call you stupid or do whatever. I'm okay with that because I chose to stay where I am and be in the marriage that I'm in because it's my marriage. But when I look at that, I always wonder how everybody has these different opinions, because my issue with it, because I always ask my husband, if I did this to you, would you still be here? And he's always like, I'd be here because you got to deal with what you dished out.
No.
Sounds good, but I don't believe that.
I don't think that Jada got a pass. Like, I really think that. Well, not. I'm saying in the opposite. I really don't think that she got done as bad as she could have been done, or if it was the man that was cheating the relationship. Like, the attention that she received, it was kind of like, I mean, it was not on that level of like Derrick Jackson getting flamed. And I guess a lot of that is because of the fact of what he stood for, what he everyone. But in the same instance, she done had a whole red table with what's the girl name? Kylie
Jordan.
Yeah,
Jordan.
her with Jordan. And y'all doing, the same thing. And then it wasn't like it was that far removed when from August, because she was like, yeah, that was like, a little while ago. It was like before COVID.
And kind of before a little taste before COVID.
Like it wasn't like,
because she had him on. She's had him on the show,
right? So that's
before the big entanglement reveal.
Yeah, so I don't know what they were still messing around then, or it was over with.
I feel like they were. That's just my opinion. I feel like they were definitely still messing around.
If you watch how he was talking about her, like he was talking about her like she was his lifeline, baby.
Yes, in love. He was in love.
Yes,
he was in love, and that was very like, okay, this what we doing? All right.
how your son bring his friend home that's got emotional problems, and y'all end up in a relation situation shit.
Yeah, because we kind of skated by that whole. Because had that been like Willow bringing a friend home that was emotionally unstable or going through some issues, and she had gotten with Will Smith, we would have torn him to shreds.
Maybe we would still be dragging him.
Right. So she really kind of got away with that. We didn't even focus on that too much, I don't think, as much as we just did the affair. But we never really talked about how August Alsina came into the picture.
Yeah.
Like, he was a friend of Jade. And, they moved him in and decided to, try to help him. And it turned into an affair with Jada. So, yeah.
That was kind of weird. Terrible. Emotionally terrible for him. Because it's like someone, basically she was using her power. Like it could be seen as manipulative. Like,
yes,
she knew how she could play on his weakness.
I think it started off as a mother role, and it just morphed into something more,
even more.
Which is kind of sick. That's like that Oedipus Rex syndrome. That's that's disgusting. Like, that was my whole issue with it.
Could you imagine being like, I can't bring you home to my house because my mama might smash? Like, what the world?
Terrible.
And my thing is, people try to make the argument, oh, he's a grown man. Yeah, but you could be grown and still have, there you go.
Because he's had some serious trauma, hadn't he?
Yes, extreme trauma. And so you're thinking about a person who's already hurting, and now you're manipulating them. You're creating this trauma bond. You're supposed to be nurturing them back to health and being the person that's there for them. And yet here you are using that to manipulate them. And that is such a problem. Like, where they do that at? I could not, I can't even describe like the level of crazy that is. But we've seen it so many times, and we've seen people do it and try to make it like it's okay. The same thing happened with, I think it's Woody, what's his name?
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen. And marrying his stepdaughter.
Mm.
The one he adopted and raised.
On HBO about that.
Yeah. It's Ashley says a lot of lines were crossed, and I agree. So what I saw between looking at Will, August, and Jada, that situation was very different. Strange, but very different. But with Derek and his wife, the whole demeanor, the whole bonnet beanie, not it.
But a lot of people feel as if that he had her look like that so that people would say, "Oh, I see why he cheating. Look at her." And so I don't know.
If you're a homely looking person, do you deserve to be cheated on? No.
That's what society believes. That if you
out there in full face in a whole new wig and a whole new outfit, and it still would have been no reason for. It's just the whole situation was really weird, and then what made it super weird was when he did the supplemental video where he was talking about.
I was about to watch something where has a video where he's talking about himself like third person. Like
I was so confused and just sad.
I need to watch it. I hadn't seen it.
Girl, you're gonna get mad all over again because you like this man real life went on here and did basically a reaction video to himself in third person. Charlamagne ate him alive. You hear me? Charlamagne ate him alive. He gave him the donkey of the day today, but he ate him alive because it was just like, you pride yourself and you are making a living off of giving advice and telling men not to do what you did is a textbook narcissist move. And then to come on and do a whole reaction video in third person, like you're not talking about you.
Yeah, he probably if he is a true narcissist, he probably thinking like he's rationalizing it and saying, so this is actual clinical research that I've done here, guys. I have solid experiential experience in this that I can bring you solid facts of what you can do to not do
that you ain't watched this video, but that's exactly what he was doing.
Oh, I haven't watched it, and there we go. Well, there we go.
Will, when I tell you it was some out of that DSM-5, baby, he pulled a classic narcissist move in that he deflected away from himself by placing blame on his other self. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, who in the like how it got my blood pressure watching it.
He started it by saying that his someone in the comments said that he should make a reactionary video to the video. He said, "Okay, you want it? Here you go.
Here it goes.
Hold my beer."
Now, and my thing is, out of all the comments, because there's thousands of comments on that video, that's the one you saw. But let me say, he pulled a comment that he had posted. I should have screenshot it because I was like, I can't believe this would. He posted in the comments of the video of the live with him and her talking, her name at whatever her name is, blink twice if you're okay.
I saw that.
Saying.
With a laughing emoji. How is that funny, sir? How is watching your wife look cringeworthy because of what she's having to sit through? How is that funny? Like, what's comical about you embarrassing the shit out of her?
But then,
you know what I'm saying?
He further goes on with the whole thing about how she was watching the videos of him with other women and she was learning their moves and all this old crazy. Like, The whole thing to me is just bizarre.
In a way, to me, it feels like she a R. Kelly victim. That's what it seemed like to me. Like totally, like on that level. That's what it seemed like.
I think she's detached from reality. I don't think she's. I honestly, I don't think that she is.
She ain't here with us. She is not on Earth.
She's not with us. She's in a different dimension. Like I just like I was saying earlier, like I watched that video with him and her, and it was just like I was like, you don't think it'd be appropriate for you to go change clothes or you go take the bonnet off your head? Like you don't think, given what it is that you all are trying to do and the message that you're trying to convey, don't you think you need to dress the part?
Really? She had never been on that weekend before, so you can make your debut.
Her body language, her mannerism. Like I was saying, like, you know, for you to say that you guys have gotten past this, that you all are in a much better place. This happened months ago, baby. You look like you just found out with the rest of us. Like you look like you are going through the storm and the rain as we speak. And if that's not what you all were trying to convey, it sure as hell came off that way, you know.
But see, she looked like what she been through.
Right.
But the problem that I had with it is, were we all being played? Like that was what, after he made the video, it's like, is this all an act? Like you over here talking about
possibly well be.
And you talking about selling books, and then you do it was just too,
it could possibly be. Yeah, it's very weird. Like if I don't know, someone needs to assess her. Yeah,
bizarre is a good word.
That's a good word. But like a lot of times people who have been through traumatic things and they can't fathom it at that time to protect their ego, they do develop a false reality. So she might have this, she might be living in her false reality, and this is true to her, how she is coming off to people and everything. Like she can't handle it from
a spiritual realm.
Right. Yeah, she trying to be there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. When I look at her and I say she was cringeworthy, I'm not talking about her physical appearance. Right. She's not an unattractive woman. I'm talking about her demeanor. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about this jaded expression that she had on her face the entire time. I'm talking about the hand holding, and I done held my kid's hand before.
No, I said this R. Kelly, he got her like R. Kelly.
For real. I have held my children's hand before and was like, I'm gonna squeeze them. Get out of you. If you say the wrong thing, you and that's what it looked like. Like, don't you?
Yeah.
It was
looks towards her look that way.
Yeah.
We're gonna make a video. You're gonna sit here and you're gonna look like you forgiven me, and you're gonna talk about Jesus and the end. And I'm gonna hold your hand for dear life.
I was very bothered by that whole video. I was like, you all could have this home video y'all made on your iPhone, y'all could have saved this. This is hot garbage. You all are just making this way worse. It did not help you all in the least, and it just made her look bad. Like it just really did. And then all of these little videos you all have done separately thereafter. It's like, what are y'all doing? And what is all this about?
I can tell you this, McKee. Hey, Keidra. I can tell you this, McKee. She went from having 10,000 followers before when his video aired with them together. By the end of the night, she's right at like 40. It's ridiculous. Like her followers so I feel like a lot of it might even be a publicity stunt. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
It could be. I feel like it is, because, and I guess that's what I guess at the end of the day, it's working for you all, but from an image standpoint, it's horrible. Like it's bad. It's really bad.
I mean, because they're not gonna buy the book for like, oh, I want to learn from him. No, they're buying the book to be nosy. Like, is he gonna tell anything else? But nothing as far as he is an expert in anything. And then where has this man been trained in anything? You aren't an expert just by being in a relationship. Where are your credentials? Where are your certifications? What are you doing? Like, so this is probably his real life experiment, because he doesn't have anything to base it on. So he is using his life as educational base.
Right. I'm not a Derek Jackson follower, but I was watching Charlemagne's Donkey of the Day 13-minute rant about him today, which was very entertaining. And he showed a clip from something that he said. And this is probably the most profound thing I've heard from really anybody in regards to relationships or just situations. And I felt like it was very appropriate. So Charlemagne pulled this clip and it says, you can put a ribbon on a piece of shit and it will still be a piece of shit. Marriage doesn't make a man marriage material. Marriage makes you married. Loyalty makes you committed. He said that. If he ain't said nothing else, he said that. Now, he doesn't apply that.
Mm-mm.
But that statement as a whole, I was like, that's some good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That is good. That is good quality. That's good. I wrote it down. It's good. I'm going to put that on a sticker. That's good. But you could say all the greatest things in the world. If you're not living it, it means nothing. It means nothing. And so for me it was so many triggers watching that video. Like, I was bothered because I was like, I know what it's like to sit in that seat, not sit in the seat and have to publicly say that you forgive somebody. I've been in that seat too. But when I looked at it, I was just like, if you've forgiven the person, you know what I'm saying? And this is where you are, why do you feel the need to take it publicly? Like, who does it matter? Why does it matter to anybody else? And I understand the line of work that he's attempting to do, but publish your book, talk about healing after hurt, but why go and create this whole spectacle like McKee talked about and make it worse than what it already was? Like, what was the purpose? Like, how did you help your relationship? How did you help your marriage? How did you help your wife in her healing process? Because whether she's forgiving you or not, now she got to sit every single day, watch memes, be a meme, and see all these different things. Like, why are you doing that? And all of the ladies in the comments are like, it's the lies. It's the lies for us. Yeah, Keisha said when the girl came out with the receipts, they had to address it. Like, you then allegedly having this woman in your bed. You didn't even protect your wife. You're right, actually, he didn't protect her. Like, you talk about men supposed to be protectors and they're supposed to protect their women. That's one of his big things that I've seen him in the car talk about on the one or two occasions I've seen him. You talk about protecting your woman and being a good man, and you were not that. Like, where's this protection that you're talking about? Where's this shield that you're supposed to put over her? And why Angie posted earlier, she's like, why is it that only the women are tasked with praying for their person and praying for their spouse and fighting these principalities and these warfares and all these things? Do you do that for us? Because here you are, done drug this lady through all kind of shiznit, and now she got to be the one to fight for the marriage and to pray for the marriage and to try to fix it. Foolery.
But I think that goes back to that toxic faith that I had mentioned a while back about where we as women in the church, we've been taught that in order for us to be good wives, we have to suffer and we have to endure. And when a man steps out on us, that we should just pray about it and, remain faithful to our husbands because God's going to deliver us from that. And so 9 times out of 10, that don't work. It don't work.
But see, this is the thing that we need to tap into. You need to actually talk to a man. A man will tell you, like, this dude right here, when you say he didn't protect her, in their mind, protection is I go to work every day and I pay these bills. If I want to smash chicks on the side, that's neither here nor there. Long as everything in here is paid for, you shut up. And that's what's been taught in the church, and that's what's been passed down to them through the generations. And so they don't have a concept of you making a fool out of me. Everybody's laughing at me. I feel some type of way. It's just like, but your bills paid.
What we talking about? So what if I'm messing with old girl and
yeah, I don't love
you
her.
good?
Kedra says, what disturbs me is how much they keep bringing God in, like, and trying to make God a part of this mess. And God is not the author of mess or confusion. So it's like, God going, y'all had it. Keep my name out y'all mouth. I am not of that. It's a mess. Like, it bothers me because it's like people who are non-believers now have even more reason to be like, if that's the God that y'all talking about, I'm gonna pass on that. I'm straight. Because God ain't finna have me out here looking foolish. Like, no, you've taken, sweetheart, acknowledge what it is. The same way I did. You've taken free will to decide that you're gonna remain with the person that you're with. That's your choice. Nobody knocking you for your choice. But
there are
personally,
people.
Yeah, there are people knocking her for her choice.
But there are people.
I'm not knocking her for her choice, to each his own. But you're not gonna have me sitting up there giving a whole stand by your man testimony. Hell, I'm here. That's me standing by you. I ain't shot you.
The crazy thing is, have you ever watched the story on the lady who made that song?
What?
Stand by
Tammy Wynette?
Yes, baby. You need to watch her documentary on PBS. This woman, her husband, she liked to have beat the dog mess out of him for cheating on her. All kinds of stuff. Like, she was a firecracker. Like, her son was talking about their relationship and how things went on and they ended up, being okay or whatever. But they had some tumultuous years. Like, she was not, even though she made that song, she wasn't taking that mess from him. But I just tell you, like,
Hannah said, did you just say I ain't shot you yet? Yes, I did say that, sis. That's you called it. You called it. But I ain't mad at Tammy Wynette because I wasn't listening to the song because I was like, girl, bye. I don't need no more bad advice. I got my own realm of bad advice. I can give myself bad advice. I don't need help from nobody else. But to know that she was a firecracker, I might go and watch it and listen to the song now.
Let me make sure that it's the right lady. They may have talked about that song in the documentary, but it was a really good documentary on PBS.
I love it. But it really brought me to want to have this conversation. And Quia talked about it on Counseling Corner with Quia today about trauma bonds. Quia, can you talk a little bit about trauma bonds and kind of how these things are related?
Basically, it can stem from just from layperson terms of we always say misery loves company. So that's where it stems from. But people can identify with trauma in others, and that causes them to think that, we are strongly connected. However, it's something that they may not consciously realize that they are linking to a hurt part of that person by their hurt part. And so once you get into that, I don't want to say entanglement, but once you get into that entanglement of trauma, your trauma, my trauma, it becomes comfort. And so you think that it's okay, but you haven't really worked through it, and you're just continuously operating from a place of hurt that will continually lead you back to hurt. So you're in a never-ending cycle of being in a painful spot that you have not fully healed from. And so a lot of times when people are hurt, like traumatically hurt, that's where they stop developing it emotionally. And so if you're at that level, then you're attracted to something that, sadly, you're attracted to something that helps you identify with the pain that you're already experiencing.
Right.
It's not Tammy Wynette, it's Loretta Lynn. But I don't know if
that's who wrote the song, right? Loretta Lynn wrote the song, didn't it?
I think she may have wrote the song, but this woman was a firecracker, baby. She was her husband, and she was mad at him. She said she had caught him cheating a whole bunch of times, and she had whooped his tail, baby.
Did it work? Did he do better?
I think they got better in older age, but she was traveling a lot, and he wasn't with her no more while she was traveling. So she pretty much she had enough for him.
Yeah. I think when the part that you touched on, Quia, today when you were talking was really in relation to other people telling you to stay.
Oh, because
in those
yeah,
in those negative relationships, in those relationships that are draining, that are oh yeah, I gotta put that one up on the screen. Candace said, call it what it is, entanglement of trauma. I like that. An entanglement of trauma. So when we talk about the problem, the really big piece that affects people who are dealing with these trauma bonds is like, you've also got people who are on the sidelines talking about, girl, it ain't that bad. You all right.
Because they went through it and they're still at that. They haven't healed from that. So they're like, it's okay. Because that's our, say for instance, where if you've healed from something, you've gone through counseling, what have you, but your people around you have not. And so they would want to get you back to what is the comfortable level, although it's dysfunction.
Yep.
So they're like, oh nah, she feeling different. I don't identify and connect with her like I used to. So if I keep her in this traumatic state of a mental state, then we'll be able to have that close connection. It's definitely treading the line of codependence.
Extremely. And I look at them, and when I say them, I'm talking about Derrick Jackson, his wife. I look at them and I see two codependent, very equally sick peas in a pod. Because he's dealing with his illnesses with narcissism and that need to feed on and be a predator on somebody and feed that. So he found somebody he could manipulate and mistreat and do these things too. And she needed that because she's still searching for everything. Like, she is in this battle, and I'm only saying that because this is what she says. She's still trying to figure out where she is in life, right? And when you're in that space, I talk to, like, you have to be a strong person to deal with a narcissist. You really shouldn't deal with them at all, just to be honest, because it's not healthy for you.
Is that strength though?
No, when I say strong, I mean, like, if you ain't killed them or you're not dead yet, you are strong to some degree. It's not the good kind of strength you should have, but you have to be strong to some degree. But when you look at it, that's not healthy. That's my whole point, is getting to that's not healthy. If your whole interaction has to be in strength, that is problematic. Like, at what point do you get to be soft? At what point do you get to be needy? At what point do you get to have your needs met, right? If your whole time is to have to deflect and put up a defense because somebody traumatizing you every day.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
You don't necessarily know. All we have
No, I'm not talking about her. I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about in general with people that have to deal with those or that are in those type of relationships, and talking about trauma bonds and the fact that you have other people perpetuating that you could, it'll be okay. It'll get better with time. Don't worry about it. It's not so bad. Like, it can be really bad. Oh, sorry. I just had a little air in my throat. Sound like I had helium.
Well, yeah, I definitely understand that. I just don't want people to judge their entire whatever they got going on off of that one or two, however many videos they done made by now, because that's only a snapshot really of a really bad moment. I don't know, and it could be their reality. I don't know. I don't know those people, so I'm just like,
I think they're exactly where they want to be.
They know they're
together. They want to be. If they're together together because they want to be together. You know what I'm saying?
But that's why I said from the jump that I feel like they playing all of us. Like, it's like it's a stunt.
Yeah, yeah. And it was successful because they even had, major media outlets writing about it. And I'm like, do they even know this man?
Like, y'all have that meme? Did y'all see the meme where it was like they're gonna have a versus between him
and
John Gray?
It wasn't John Gray. It was
Kevin Samuels.
Kevin Samuels.
Oh, girl, Kevin.
He hosted by Steve Harvey.
He needs to go in there and talk to Kevin Samuels. That would be very entertaining.
Kyle listens to Kevin Samuels.
Kevin Samuels does not give a girl. I listened to one of him the other day. I was like, "Oh, girl, just hang up, girl."
I'll sit there and watch with Cal. And I'm like, why don't she just hang up? Like, he is destroying her over this phone, and she's just like, yeah, but I don't know what to
Yeah,
do.
but
He's like, ma'am, you're not gonna get anybody that makes more than $42,000. You have 3 kids and you're all tatted up. I don't know, ma'am. What is it that you want,
My God,
sir?
he is.
Ma'am,
Terrible.
just get off the phone. Just hang up. Just. And he eventually just hangs up on him.
I will say I like his honesty, although it's his honesty. That's what I like about it, because it's what he believes and he gonna stick with it. So he's standing in his word. I can respect that. And I don't really get upset with him because you called in for that. It's not like he said, let me seek out and go and tell her about herself.
Let me rant him. Dummy.
Right. You
said I don't think
so you come to me, you came for what you getting what you came for.
Hey, do you think I'll find someone? No.
What do you look like, ma'am? How much do you weigh? How much do you make? How many children do you have?
Yeah, that man. The last one I listened to, I felt sorry for the lady. Well, because she was from Canada and she was of not of African American. And I feel like African Americans could kind of sustain a little better against his words. Like I was thinking, girl, just hang up. He was like, no, the man was not going to talk to you. At this point, you're desperate. And she just kept saying, but what if I want to be his friend? He's not your friend. He wasn't your friend before you started dating. He does not want to be your friend.
He's trying to smash, lady.
Right. And you didn't do that. And so he's gone on. That's basically what he was telling her.
Y'all really believe that these people be this naive when they call it? They already know the answers to these.
They know it. They know.
They just don't want to accept it. Or I mean, I don't. Because I'm like, why would you? You know the answer. You know why he ghosted you. You already know this.
And what was the worst part though? That man said, what were you holding out on? You're not a virgin, so your body is not like, what were you holding out? I was like, oh my God, girl, that's what I was thinking. Hang up.
Just hang up. Just all you got to shut the computer down and just get out. Just hang up. You don't have to sit here.
He eventually turned her off.
They rarely hang up on him. He usually hangs up on them.
So are they trying to convince him or convince themselves?
They're trying to convince themselves.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And like Quinn said, he does have like some things like I kind of agree with him on. He's like, ma'am, you're wanting a 6-figure man. You don't travel in those 6-figure circles. You make this, you have this, and it's going to be really hard for a man that's making 6 figures to want to be with someone like you. Like on some levels, I kind of understand it, but man, your delivery sucks.
Yeah, that's the delivery. Because basically what he could say is, ma'am, why are you even seeking this? Why don't you honor what you have similarities with? Why is this such a prize to you? Why aren't you embracing what could possibly be yours? But he gonna
stand in front of you.
But he gonna take it to, ma'am, you can't get with them people. Like
they are not gonna want you. You are not
gonna want you. You too big. You got too many kids. You tatted up. You ain't making enough money.
Just go. You're approaching the danger zone. You're 38.
Yes.
You get all the way.
Yeah, Candace said it best. She's like, he tricks me out. He defines women by their weight, age, and number of children. He's too much. He's too much for me. Because I respect that those women are just sitting there listening, because you would have got all of the smoke from me.
Well, why would you? You wouldn't even call though.
I wouldn't because I don't care about his opinion. I'm gonna do me at all costs. I don't care what he's thinking about, but it's just like, and that's what kind of bothers me about the whole thing, is because it's like, man, why are you calling to get his validation? Kids, plug your ears. Fuck him. Okay. Who are you, sir?
Right.
Who are you? Like, what? Bye.
The reality is that there are some men who believe that that's facts. What he's saying is exactly how they feel.
Yep, but they just won't say it bluntly.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, if that's their proclivity, then go with it. I mean, I don't want you if you don't. I mean, if you're not what I'm seeking, then I don't want you either.
Touche. Like, and so I think it's the one-sidedness of it for me. If the show has some balance, bring a female on and let her do the same thing to men and be like, "Boo, your penis too small. Don't nobody want no little dick nigga."
He did that to a man.
No, he can't do that to a man.
Yes,
like,
he did.
He
told that man. He said, "I ain't gonna say the D word," but he said, "Do you have a big penis?" And the man said, "Huh?" He was like, "That
You heard me.
Oh, you don't. You don't. If you come home, you can hear. You gotta do.
That means you don't. So you don't have no money or no big penis to get a woman. And you expect her to be all this.
But here's the thing, and I gotta say this because I gotta say this because I think when we think about all the different situations and watching what we've seen with the way women have been like kind of interacted with in this space where men feel like they could just say whatever and keep it real with women, we women need to start keeping it real with men.
I do.
You do, Kia, but historically we have not. We have lied to them, told them that they were sexing us good when they weren't. We have lied to them, told them when they think that they thing was big when it wasn't. We have lied to them, telling them that we like what they doing when we didn't. We need to stop lying to men because we are creating the monsters that they have become.
But see, then people probably like, that's why she ain't married, because she don't lie to them. You got to stroke their ego. That's what people say.
But I will say,
marriage does not make marriage makes you married. Marriage makes you married. That's it. That's all it makes you is married.
But I will say, like,
it don't make you a faithful partner. It doesn't make you it don't make you nothing but married until the people in the marriage honor it in that space and place whatever positive emphasis on it. I was talking about LOL, don't kill them. No, kill them. Kill them, kill them, kill them. You understand? I'm talking about with
I think that's a slippery slope because even though these men are out here doing whatever they want, they have a very, very weak ego. And when you get to talking about Liz, I get it. When you get to talking about their manhood and they ain't this and they small and they stroke ain't good and they wet.
But they like to talk about how they don't like dark-skinned girls or how they don't like fat girls or how they don't like girls with natural hair. They like to do all that. They killing us on every level. They stay disrespecting Black women on that level. So why do we have to protect their egos when they do nothing to protect ours? Uzi, kill them. If we start killing them, either they're going to start respecting us and treating us a little bit different, or we'll get the real of them. And now everybody walking around being real, and you only dealing with the people you want to deal with, and we don't have all the fake things because we are over here stroking these folks' egos that don't care about us, that's going sleeping with everybody and their mama. Okay? That's cheating on you because you didn't look a certain way. Dude, I should have cheated on you because you XYZ. Right? So if that's what we doing,
what's Tamika
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
This made me think about another show that I watched, that I started watching because everybody else was talking about it. Married at First Sight.
I have not seen Married at First Sight. Tell me about it.
Girl,
I heard about that man now.
This man, yes.
I want to fight Chris. Every time I watch that, I want to punch him in the face. Like,
what is Married at First Sight on? Is it a Netflix show? Is it
Lifetime?
Okay.
Yes,
I gotta watch it.
And this man looks like a Ninja Turtle reject.
A Ninja Turtle
reject.
Not Ninja Turtle.
He look like a pit bull puppy. He does.
A pit bull puppy, but pit bull puppies are kind of cute, so he can't be a Ninja Turtle and a pit bull puppy.
He's a combination.
Like that. That's what they had that grown man mohawk. I saw the preview of it. Oh, I hate grown men with it. Grown men with it hair, but it looks terrible.
He needs to call Sarobi. He needs to get him some skincare for real. But this nut be on there talking mad money, just crazy about this girl that he married, and talk about she's not what he's used to. She's beautiful.
Girl, hold on. I gotta show this comment, y'all. Quan Johnson said with auntie hips.
He be wearing clothes from Justice. And like he pulled out his little sister's closet and stuff, like skinny jeans with the ripped knees out and colorful tops and stuff. Like
nobody is wearing Justice clothing as a grown man. McKinney.
Well, he has a mohawk. If you have a mohawk,
it's like something. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a tapered cut, but with
and it's textured. Yeah, like you could go on. You could pull up his face.
See, I saw the preview of one episode. That's why I was. Let me look at.
What's so bad? What's so bad about him is that it's not even the fact, like, the whole premise of the show is that you marry a stranger upon meeting them, like you meet them at the altar. Right. So he Paige is a beautiful dark-skinned woman, gorgeous skin is just gorgeous, and I feel like she has a very sick, twisted, toxic faith when it comes to God and what God wants for her, and she feels like you gotta suffer and endure and all this kind of stuff. So anyway, they get, she's walking down the aisle, he is immediately turned off by her. This is not who he wants. And from there on, he has been doing everything he possibly can to get this girl to divorce him, and she is not leaving. He has told her that he's not attracted to her after he has slept with her multiple times. Unprotected.
I heard about that.
He has told her that at the reception, he told her that he just got out of a relationship, an engagement 3 months prior to this.
And the girl pregnant or something.
On the honeymoon, he tells her that she's pregnant.
2 days in.
2 days in, he then dips on her after the honeymoon and flies to Chicago to see her.
Give it back.
He tells her that he's thinking about.
Are we talking about this guy?
Yes.
This is the guy you guys are talking about.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And that's a great Photoshop because his skin looks a whole lot worse than that. He tells her that he wants to be with his baby mom because he doesn't want another man raising his kid.
But they have a meetup with the baby mama, and this is the gag. The baby mama says she don't want him.
Yes. The baby mama showed up. She's like, yeah, he told you that we're getting back together. That's not happening.
And that was a lie.
I don't know what he's talking about. So then fast forward,
because the baby mama tells her that she don't want
him. So fast forward, like 2 weeks later, they last week, he's ghosted her again, he ghosted Paige, and so he's like, she has
Bible study,
kind of tired of the BS and stuff, and so they're like, let's just do a reset and let's just start all over again. So they're like, reintroducing themselves and stuff. So he had after that whole, they're gonna work things out. He ghosts her again, shows up to the house with the therapist, and they're talking or whatever. And basically, long story short, he tells her he ghosts her again, shows up at her house. They were supposed to have dinner. He comes with a plate of chicken. And they're talking, and he tells her, yeah, yesterday I went out and bought my baby mama. Her name is Mercedes. I went out and bought her a Mercedes-Benz, and she's carrying my child, a brand new Mercedes-Benz.
My kid is
in
the chariot.
Because my child needs to be in the chariot.
And
that's why Loretta Lynn beat the shit out of her husband.
This is what she says.
Okay. I mean, I understand that you want your child's mother to be, Oh, and here's the kicker. The girlfriend, she hadn't driven a car in 6 years because are you pregnant?
That's the exact way she was doing. I'm like, ma'am, like, you need to pick a lane. You keep saying you don't want this man. Do you want him? Do you not? Like, I'm confused. Which one?
I feel sorry for that girl.
I don't know if I need to watch this. I'm probably gonna be upset.
Paige needs to
I think you
leave.
should watch it. I think you should watch it because it's really like you're watching this man completely tear this woman down.
I can't
Like,
watch
I
that. That
really-
bothers me. That's a trigger. I can't watch that because
Well,
I'm gonna
you
want to
probably
find out where
shouldn't.
he at and put some hands on him because that's not cool. Like,
But what it just pisses me off because then it's another terrible example of a black couple on
why
television.
can't we have some positive black
Right,
couples on
exactly.
TV?
They have now on the same show, they have another couple, black couple that seems to be getting along really well. They have their problems, but they seem to be doing very well. But like them, it's
where
like,
are our
okay,
examples? We talked about this before. Like, where are our examples of like positive, black
Watch on TV and they like, oh, we watched this was like back in the prime of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I'm like, that's what y'all watch? Like, I watch it too, but I'm like, I'm looking like, okay. And they was like, yeah, like Stevie and Jocelyn. I'm like,
oh gosh,
Mimi, and I'm like, so you guys at a young age are feeding off of this ridiculous. Like, to me, it's entertainment. It's funny because I'm like, but in their young minds, they're watching this. They think this is normal behavior between adults, and that's where the issues come in. And maybe we should work on portraying things in a different light because I think that may be the issue. Like because I can watch reality TV with a white ensemble cast and they still be having the same type of crazy stuff going on too. Like, it's not just us that look.
I agree. It's not just us, but I feel like we have more examples where you see other ethnicities and races represented, and it's not always this negative picture. For us, it feels like it's always attached to something crazy or negative. The very few shows that we had that showed that were not reality shows, but sitcoms that were good. You got Blackish, a good, black family, whatever, working it out or whatever. What's another one? We had My Wife and Kids back in the day. You said what?
The Fresh Prince.
The Fresh Prince.
The Cosby Show.
The Cosby Show. But look how Family Matters. But look how far reaching we had to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's when we was in junior high.
That's when we were in elementary school.
Well, they had all them shows on UPN and the the WB and all that stuff when we was coming up, Right. But it wasn't like a marriage like relationship. Like, they had the Wayans, they had Moesha. Well, Moesha was a good family,
We don't have a lot of that now. You got Blackish, and you have. You said what, Queer?
The Parkers.
The Parkers, remember?
I'm not gonna talk about the Parkers. I'm not gonna touch that. I'm not gonna touch. It's so much that could be unpacked in just that show, with her chasing after this person and constantly being rejected. It just
Professor Oliver. It was terrible.
Didn't they
like it ain't.
I was pissed about that.
Like,
Laura and Steve ended up being together too.
Yeah.
Again, toxic, dysfunctional relationships. Chase somebody who don't want you to be in a relationship only after they change to be something else. Not cool. That's not what you want to show.
He was still Steve when they got married. He was Steve.
He was Steve. He wasn't Stefan, but it took him having to go and become Stefan for her to even fall in love with him. That's problematic. I don't know. I just girlfriends, yes, but girlfriends didn't really have a relationship. They showed many relationships, but they didn't really have they showed the good dating life and what it's like to be a black woman on a dating scene, but they really didn't do.
Whatchamacallit had a good marriage outside of the cheating, which brings us back to what we started from the beginning. Maya and
Darnell.
Oh yeah.
And she cheated on him with that dude. But she didn't even cheat. Didn't they just
cheat? She did. But Sam was crazy.
And he was a bad kisser. She didn't want him no more.
They did kiss. But she emotionally cheated. She emotionally cheated, which is just as bad as sleeping with the person. Because with women, with us getting involved and really, that's That's a lot. You know, she's spending all this time talking about what Darnell wasn't doing and stuff like that. And Stan was using every bit of it, eating it up, and then turned out to be a psycho.
Yeah, he was crazy.
Like, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. So, yeah, no.
Yeah, gave it
It bothers me. That whole thing bothered me, child.
Yeah, like you light up
right in my stomach.
We just going over the.
It bothered me that Joan never got a chance to really be with also doing Aaron. Loves her quirks and all. And they ain't even finished the season after let her have a happily ever after. That bothers me.
Give me, it can go straight to Netflix to know she married Aaron. Did her and Tony reconcile? Yeah. Did Darnell and Maya, what happened to them? I watched that show over and over again.
I needed to finish. Like, why didn't we finish? Some of it manifest, sometimes scripted television. Like, that's a problem. Take them down if they want to be out here talking crazy to the women and acting crazy. What's his name?
Chris.
We need to go talk to that man off of Scared Straight.
Instagram that they suffered a miscarriage. I think back in October, maybe. So she's not pregnant. It's just a sad situation. Like I feel like so many people
have his daddy and his mama, and you could tell, like
not right with this dude. Like he is like.
I watch a lot of ID channels, so he ain't on that level, but he a day go.
He is that. He would murder somebody and then help you try to find the body. Like real talk. I just do. He's just evil like that. And he does it with a smirk, and everything is all wrapped up in God. And God is telling me to do this, and God is telling me to do that. And I'm a man of integrity. And you're not operating like that, dude. And she's just like,
here's where this bothers me with that so much, McKee, is the whole. And Mika hit on it earlier, the whole man of integrity thing like that. When you have integrity, it is seen. It is felt. Yes. That presence of integrity is felt. You don't have to announce that you're a good person. People know.
Right.
Your good presence emits everywhere you go. Your presence, your goodness actually precedes you. So when you hear a person that got to constantly remind you that they good, nah. Nope.
He want to remind.
And that cloak of using religion.
Yeah.
I can't take.
It goes back to that same thing that I talked about at the beginning. Like in his mind, a good man is a man who has a job.
He don't have that.
At that time, he was like he ain't have no kids.
He
Yeah.
He doesn't have a job.
Professionally, he was working when it first started.
He had a Subway, but that closed. He got evicted.
Well, anyway, in his mind, it's just like some of the guys we went to college with that aren't married and don't have kids yet. Like if you listen to how they speak about the type of women that they're looking for, and when they talk about themselves, like, oh, I'm a catch, I can get all these different women because I ain't got no kids, I got a good job, my credit look good, that type of thing. But that's not all you got to bring to the table. Like, what's your heart like? What's your mind like? Just because you can provide, I can provide for myself.
Right. Can you pray for me? Because there's a lot of stuff that I need from you. Can you recognize my needs? Can you speak my love language?
Are you emotionally intelligent?
Bam. Right. Because it's so much
available. A lot of them not even emotionally available and get married, and they not even.
Yep.
Yeah, and see some of them
baby, that little baby, the iPhone memes. That little baby. Oh, like preaching. You've been preaching all day, queer.
Feel like they done missed out on something because they know that just like some of our friends, when you get a certain the pickings are what they are at that point. So some people be like, what done happened? But they be still delusional. Like, yeah, I'm Big Money Mike. I'm running the scene. I'm still out here bopping and doing.
You be looking like, what?
Sir, no.
Ain't you tired of that?
No, you ain't bopping.
Bopping, baby.
You flopped, baby. You done flopped.
I was watching. I can't remember. I think it's somebody you put me on, but I can't remember on IG. They was just talking about like really embracing singlehood and how people need to really understand that there's nothing wrong with being single, right? And I really want people to understand that just because the pick is gonna get slimmer as you get older, fact. because of the ratio. We outnumber people. And if you're not dating outside your race, you're even more limited. You know what I'm saying? So, but you don't have to settle.
Nah.
Okay? Because just because the pickings are slim, you don't have to settle. You should not be settling. There are other ways to get babies if you want to be a parent and have children. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't limit yourself to be with somebody who's going to be emotionally unavailable, emotionally unintelligent, feel like they can do you any kind of way, and think that that's okay. Like we got to really start promoting and supporting a culture that says it's okay. And a lot of people won't listen to me say that because they're like, but you married and you got kids. So how you telling everybody else not to get married, but you married? But I made my bed. I done made my bed. Like, marriage makes you married. I'm gonna keep reading this shit because that shit hit hard. Marriage makes you married. That's it. You've entered into a business contract with somebody. Loyalty makes you committed. And there are a lot of people that are in marriages because they're married. And there are other people who are in marriages and they have commitments and they're committed and they're doing these different things and doing the work. And when people, if you're not ready to do that and be that, I swear to God, the best thing you can be is by yourself. Because you can't disappoint yourself. You can't hurt yourself. You can't traumatize yourself. I mean, you can do these things, but you can't do it from the perspective of a relationship. You know what I'm saying? You can't do it from that perspective. You can't do it where it's inflicting that kind of harm in that way. You can hurt yourself in other ways, but welcoming a person in that's not ready for you in that way is dangerous. Kedra said it's the work for me, sis. Kedra went in, we had the guys on here. She was like, I am not I'm not going to be doing all this work. I already work and have to deal with these microaggressions at work. I'm not going to come home and deal with that at home too. I get it. And it's okay. She is one of the most joyfully single people I've ever encountered. Like, you too, Queer. Like, you be rocking it. And I'm like, I ain't gonna lie.
I don't be thinking about it.
Because it's not a thought. You love you. You know what I'm saying? You love you. You love your presence. You love and enjoy yourself.
And I don't settle, dust settle. And I don't want nothing dust.
Y'all making this chicken note.
I'm gonna have to use that.
Queer, I already shipped your shirt. I should have put that on the shirt for you. Hear me? I don't settle, dust settles, but what?
You was supposed to make my shirt. You ain't make our shirt.
Listen, one at a time. I just came off vacation. I made Queer's shirt. Queer's shirt is in the mail. You gotta also text me what y'all said y'all want y'all shirts to say because I don't remember.
Because I not remember. As soon as we get off to me.
Queer emailed me that night, said my shirt needs to say. And I was like, Queer, I'm on it. You know, I got the memory of a fruit fly. You know that. I cannot remember. So when we get off live tonight, I need y'all to let me know. Deidre, you probably sleep right now, but I know you're gonna watch this tomorrow. When you wake up, tell me what you wanted that shirt to say so I can make your shirt for you because I don't remember. But dust settles, baby. We ain't settling no more.
You don't want none dusty. You don't want none dusty, girl.
You definitely should not settle. But you need to be realistic.
Oh yeah, but that's
and I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying in general. Like some people be like,
that's what Kendra said. She getting her shirt in person next week. She getting hers in person next week. She just trying to flex
I'm about to be what they be like, yeah, I'm about to meet Prince Charming. He about to take me to the castle and it's gonna be happily ever after. No friend.
Right.
I think that was the biggest mistake that ever happened to me. Was growing up thinking that there would actually be a Prince Charming. And that I would have this fairy tale and he would come and sweep me off my feet and all this kind of stuff. And it's the biggest lie that we teach our daughters. So I don't teach my daughters that. I teach my daughters that whatever you want, you gonna work for it. And if you don't want it and you're not working for it, you're not gonna get it. Reality. So I teach them early, we work for what we want. We don't rely on anybody else to give us what we want. We go out there and we get it for ourselves. And if you happen to meet somebody that wants to contribute to what you have going on, good for you. But know that you are enough on your own, baby girl. And that's okay. And that's not teaching this super independence. It's just like, I don't need them to be so concerned about having somebody else love them and they don't love them. They need to love them first. Because it took me 20 something years to realize that I needed to love Michelle before I worried about anybody else trying to love me. That's big. I don't subscribe to that. And it's really hard, but we have to look at it differently. So for me, it's the protecting Black women. It's being honest and having honest conversations with Black men. It's not feeding the foolishness and the BS that we've been feeding them for years, because we've helped to cultivate and create monsters that we need to get under control. We need to tame them. Be like, come on back down here to Earth now. Don't be out there in Pluto, because Pluto got you confused, bruh. We're going to be honest with ourselves. You not satisfied, so you going out and cheat? I'm not satisfied either. You think that I should lose weight? Hey, bro, you should lose weight too. So, like, let's be honest with each other, not just one-sided where you're being honest with me and I'm not being honest with you. Right. Because if we want to be for real, like, I look back with my grandmother, who I love. Y'all know I love my granny. My granny loved my grandfather. Oh my gosh. To the point that she didn't want, like, literally did not want to live without him. I don't ever want to love nobody like that. Mm-hmm. I said that growing up, I was like, I don't ever want to love nobody to the point I can't live without them, that I don't want to live without them. That is not a healthy love. I knew that as a child. That's not a healthy love. But I'm sure there were things that he did that she didn't like, but I bet you he died never knowing, because she suppressed it to the point of her own demise. And that ain't what I'm trying to, like, be about at all. Like, I don't want to love you more than I love me. No thanks. AK-47, I'm good. We have to be honest about who we are and what we need, because a lot of times we as women, we're going through not having our needs met because we're so busy protecting the egos of other people. And it's time out for that. Dallas all in the comments. Let me put his comment on the screen, since he want to talk trash in the comments. Talking about tame who? Man, please chill. Boy,
who said something about taming somebody?
I didn't say nothing about taming nobody. He just want to talk because he got a mouth. But when I said bring it down so we could be on the same level, tame that attitude, that whole flex of thinking that they can come at women and say whatever they want to say to women, and that we can't say anything to them in return. You could talk about our hair, our weight, our skin complexion, what you think we should look like and how we should dress and how we should act, but you don't want to have anybody call you on that. I said what I said, T. I said what I said, and I just clarified what I meant. You said what? Kim and T in the comments talking about, yeah, you said tame. Who cares?
Hold on. Like I said, see, folks be trying to flip the script. Like, when you met me, it was like this. Don't be trying to act like I changed, friend.
Listen, all I'm saying is the way we've seen men come for women and talk about what women need to do, and I don't date this kind of woman, I don't deal with this kind of woman, I don't like this kind of woman. That's fine. We don't like these kind of people either. Or we have to start being confident and saying what we don't like, and stop settling like these are the only men that we can get. You know what I'm saying?
People be saying stuff like that. I'm like, them folks ain't checking for you, boo.
Yeah, Alex, he in the comments talking about, what if you did change? What if you changed? Because we ain't even talking about what if you changed. Get off my live, sir. If you're bothered, please exit.
Right.
Real talk. But we have to do better than that. We got to stop sitting back being like meek and mild and being mistreated and hurt and not being okay. It's not okay. No. It's not okay. That's all I want to say. It's not okay. Well, we don't want to get triggered. Erica, I see you, sis. Welcome, Dr. Davis. She said, either you get with it or with
it, baby.
I don't attend the university of not being myself. So
yeah, they did that once and won't go again.
Yeah. D'Alex, I'm asking what the people want to know. What do the people want to know, D'Alex? Since you on here, since you in this live, the people is him and T. He and T want to know. I'm gonna speak for me. I'm gonna talk about me since we bringing me in here. My husband want to talk. I probably gained a good 60 pounds when I moved to Florida. Some of that was due to depression after dealing with infidelity. He was dealing with a fat girl, and I was like, shit, he likes sloppy bitches. Let me get sloppy too.
Oh shit.
So I just gained weight.
Let's
right?
bring it in. Bring it in.
No, we're gonna be transparent because I honor a space of transparency. Okay, so let's keep it all the way real.
Okay, go ahead.
But when I realized that was hurting me, that me doing that in a sense, to try to punish him was hurting me, I had to self-correct. I went to therapy. I dealt with what I needed to deal with because I was like, here I am hurting me because he hurt me. That is stupid. So yes, when people change, you got to deal with what you got to deal with. She said, my sis will never be sitting on no live with no tilted bun on her hands being squeezed to death. Facts. Dialix said, hold on. Really? LMAO too much, but I feel you. I mean, you took it there. So anywho, we just have to be honest about where we are in this space. I told you AK-47 is trigger warning.
This was the therapist in me. This was the therapist in me. Like, oh my God.
Here you go.
And Michelle, like,
Mika, what's the university you go to? The University of what?
The University of Being Myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's the university I'm enrolled in.
Okay.
I can't say. I go to the University of Being Myself.
I attend the university. The University of the United States. No, the University of Being Myself. So the good thing about it is I told y'all at the very beginning of this live that after dealing with what I deal with, I made a choice to be where I am. So I honor the space that I'm in. You know what I'm saying? And I think what's different is I don't have to sit with my hand held with somebody trying to figure out where I am in this space. I know that could have destroyed me, but I didn't let it. It almost did, but I didn't let it. I sought the help that I needed to seek so that I could be healed. I didn't go and deep dive and talk about putting on the full armor of God when I really don't even understand that. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't go the extreme toxic religion to try to fix something that I didn't fully understand, that God could fix my heart and say, hey, forgive your spouse. But he didn't help me understand the thoughts or unpack what was really going on. You know what I'm saying? It took me to say, okay, I need somebody to help me address the psyche issues with this. I needed somebody to help me understand that I didn't do anything wrong. The choices that another human being makes are theirs and theirs alone. You don't own that, Michelle. Derek Jackson's wife don't own that.
Right.
So when people are coming at her, she didn't do nothing. She didn't deserve the treatment she got from the man who goes around telling other men not to treat their wives and girlfriends like that. Boy, bye. Shoot him. He needs to be brought back to reality. We have to stop empowering and giving space for people to go out and preach a story that they aren't living. It's not okay. So when I talk about us taming it, it's like, let's keep it real. If we want to look and say, oh, he cheated on her because she's homely, I bet you he got some faults and some shortcomings. He give LDE all day. If you don't know what LDE is,
what is that?
If you know, you know.
If you know, Mika, I'll text you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think I know what it is.
Yeah.
I think I know.
Me.
Exactly. This is the best thing my husband has said all night. You don't own people. People are responsible for their actions. When people do what they did it because they wanted to. Nothing made them do it. That is exactly what they wanted to do. That's how they wanted to operate and react. You said what?
The devil made them do it.
That's what the girl said.
No, it wasn't no devil. It was a devil. The devil that lives inside. The devil that lives inside. So when we look at that, like, it's one of those things where you see people and you have to honor for what it is. So when I think about that, like, it really, it's a different type of situation. So I looked at that and I saw this woman and I was like, girl, why? You didn't have to get on here and prove nothing to him or anybody else in the world. You should have let him take this walk by himself. His walk of shame should have been alone and with nobody else.
You need to make sure them coins are protected.
Biz out. You know what I'm saying? And that's why and somebody said on one of her posts, it was so crazy. It was like, you need to take these crazy ass posts down, because if you don't the court system could use that and say you're not a fit parent because you're over here talking, basically having these psychotic episodes, and he'll get your kids. And I'm just like, ain't that sad that in the end they could still find a way to demonize her and she didn't do anything?
Stockholm syndrome.
They're a little bit more than problematic. They're like borderline ID channelish.
It's Mika, you read them? Did you go through her post and read them?
I read the one where she was talking about watching the sexual positions of him with other people, the secretions and all this. And lady, this is too much.
She was talking about her roommate.
Yourself.
She was talking about her roommate. Yes, her roommate from college. Yes. It's so much there. That's why I said two peas in a very dysfunctional, strange pot. They're both touched. You know what I'm saying? He's dealing with his issues, but she's got her own separate set of issues that them being together is not helping. But they're together, and that's their thing. And like Tab Brown say, that's their business. That's their business. So I'm in the business of letting them mind their business. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, we have enjoyed y'all. We have talked way longer than I thought we was going to talk. And it has been a whole clown show tonight. I have enjoyed it. I missed y'all, and I really enjoyed y'all. But before we go, we have to make sure that we honor our sisters who are not here tonight and talk about you guys in a few minutes, like in 4 minutes. Tonight on BET, Soledad O'Brien's Disrupt and Dismantle comes on tonight, featuring two of our tribe members, Dr. Nikitra Burst, and Natoya Sanders. Please, please, please tune in, as they will be sharing information about women and infant mortality and the rising rates in Mississippi, and finding and talking about solutions for what they can do about it. So, closing thoughts real quick. What you got going on for the rest of the week, Quia? How close are we to reaching our goal?
Well, I currently I wrote it down, and it's so fun. I wrote it down today. I currently have 400 I need 54 more downloads. Okay, guys.
Come on, y'all. Download Mindfully Fashion. Download Mindfully Fashion so we can hit this goal, because our goal is to hit it way before June 6th. So we can do that. Tamika, take care of them clients. Take care of those babies. Take care of your cool husband. And let's get to planning on this trip. Okay. McKee is booked and busy, y'all. But if you don't know what to do with your organization, go check out her site, wakecreatems.com, and book her. She does things both virtually and in person. And whatever you do, by all means, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, protect your energy at all costs, y'all. Protect your energy. And y'all have a good night, and go tune into BET and watch our sisters. Love y'all.
Bye.
Bye.